Here we are now in assignment 8-1B. Let's get started. So in this one, we're asked to write the names of the intervals that are included in a melody. So we're going to go, instead of up and down, we're going to go sort of across, right? So it's not really any different in terms of the process. It's just how they look. So let's zoom in and get started with the beginning. Our first example we've been given is major third. Before we even get started with that, though, we need to make sure we've accounted for any key signature accidentals that might be in there. Luckily, we're in C major, which makes perfect sense since we haven't studied key signatures yet. So, oh no, I guess we have studied key signatures, but we need to make sure that we have accounted for any of that. So there aren't any accidentals that we need to deal with. So we've got first the distance between C and E, which is a major third, as we've been told. And then we're going to have the distance between E and D natural, which is a whole step, which means that is a major second. And then we have a distance between D and G, which is a little further apart, but we use that same process, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, which is some sort of fourth. And if we count the whole steps all the way up there, we know that that is going to end up being a perfect fourth. Our next one is going to be between G and F, which is going to be a major second. And then finally, we have an interval between F and the next line. All right, so if they've given us the note in parentheses, but this is really referring to that note because the music kind of follows this path. So between F and A, same process. Count your scale degrees. 1, 2, and 3. We know that's some sort of third. And if we count the whole steps, we see that there's 2 whole steps, which means it's a major third. And then we're here looking between A and G, which is a major second. And then again between G and D, which just like it was before, is a perfect fourth. And then again between D and E, which is a major second. And we're going around again. We've got between E and E, which I hope, remember, this is actually that E that we're referencing. And that, I hope everyone is aware, is a perfect octave. And then E to D, which is another major second, just like we had up here. Oops. D to C, another major second. C to C, which is a perfect unison. You can also write it as perfect one, perfect unison. And then from C to F, which we haven't had that interval yet in this example. So let's go through and count our intervals. Count our scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know it's some sort of fifth. And if we go through and count all the whole steps, we'll get to see that it is a perfect fifth. And then we have this same interval that we had a moment ago between F and A, which is still a major third. And then A is going to G, which again, remember that is actually referring to that note. A to G is a major second. G to B is a major third. B to G, same thing, major third, just going back down. And G to C is a perfect fourth. Take a moment and look at that. Lots of major intervals.